4 o'clock now, and we are still talking about Title 42. Of course, it was lifted last week. It has immigration advocates concerned that it will lead to more people in ICE detention.
9 News reporter Angeline McCall spoke with one attorney who works with detained clients at the Aurora facility about the after effects we could see further away from the border.
At the border, as people cross, some are detained and some are not.
I anticipate with policy change after Title 42 that we will see more recent border arrivals in the detention center here.
At the ICE detention facility in Aurora, many of those inside come directly from the border.
We have been hearing this report from community partners that people are being released. To me, that is them kind of preparing for a surge of people being detained at the border.
Immigration attorney Elizabeth Jordan is concerned about the after effects of Title 42.
I am very worried that we're going to see more people detained unnecessarily at the private detention center here in Aurora because we do detain people who seek asylum and move them through the detention system.
The pandemic-era policy was also a public health order to protect against COVID. It limited ICE detention in facilities across the country, like the one in Aurora owned by a company called Geo.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Geo Group's going to make a lot of money in the next couple of months because they get paid per person.
Many arriving at the southern border, largely from Venezuela, can't even be removed and sent back to their home country, meaning some advocates expect they'll be held only to be released back into the community.
You know, we just wasted a lot of U.S. taxpayer resources to potentially release somebody into the community who could have been released at the start of that whole process instead of going all the way through it.
We did reach out to ICE, who told us that regardless of Title 42, they will continue their efforts based on U.S. law and policy. And just to go back to what we were talking about, when people get released back into the community, many are people coming directly from the southern border, taken into ICE custody, and then, for instance, driven up to the Aurora facility. If they are released afterwards, they're released into Colorado and into an area they are not familiar with.
I think this is, again, something else that most of us aren't thinking about, aren't realizing the money involved, and then the fact that they're, eventually released, and it's like, good luck.
Yeah, something that the attorney mentioned to me today is that she thinks that a lot of people have thought about Title 42 when it comes to the border, but not necessarily what it means after people cross. And so this is one of those things that is going to happen potentially, as she believes, and I guess time will tell.
We so appreciate all of your efforts in covering this in every nook and cranny because there's a lot we don't understand. Thank you, Angeline.
Now we turn to basketball, and the Denver Nuggets going into the Western Conference Finals. That starts tonight, and they're doing so in an unfamiliar and pretty cool position. They're the favorites against the Lakers, and the home crowd should be giving them the edge they need if they're going to make their way all the way to a first NBA Finals. Katie Eastman, our Nuggets editor, is live outside of Ball Arena. Katie, I know the fans are excited. The 6:30 start means that people are going to be showing up soon, but I imagine fans are a little nervous at the opportunity as well.
Well, we will see, because so far there's nobody here. But, I really am the perfect person to be covering this because I have seen all of one Nuggets game. And I was told, Katie, it's going to be fine. There's going to be energy and excitement of the fans. But guys, there's nobody here yet. I know they're going to be here, but not yet. So honestly, all of my knowledge about the Nuggets comes from the Celtics fan standing behind the camera. He's kind of caught me up in the last hour or so. So blame Alex Castillo if I get anything wrong. But honestly, I'm starting to get excited now that I know a little bit about this team. They have lost many times in the Western Conference Finals, 4 times, and 3 of those times were against the Lakers, the team they're going to be playing tonight again. We know that they went up against them in 2020. That was a Jokic versus LeBron James match. We're going to see that again in this series. But we know that in 2020, it was the pandemic. They were in the bubble. So I've heard that a lot of people say it doesn't really count. So this is going to be like that real matchup, that real face-off. Yeah, I think that's all I got for facts, you guys. I'm running out here. At 5 o'clock, I'm going to have more from all of the fans that will be here. I promise.
Finally, someone catching me up on the basketball. It's about time. I learned a little bit out there. To be honest, I am surprised that they haven't really started to gather. We will, there is 2.5 hours before they get underway, but we certainly saw last year with the Stanley Cup run. I don't know, the tailgates usually begin a few hours before the games.
I know, that's true. And maybe they're tailgating somewhere else. I'm like looking around at the parking lots. But honestly, I don't see it yet. There are a lot of vendors here setting up. They say that they're ready for the festivities to begin. I just think people are easing their way in. They're gonna be here soon. Hopefully at 5 o'clock, we'll have a lot more to show you and a lot more people to talk to other than me who know about the Nuggets.
Well, there are people who followed this team forever, going back to the 70s, and they're ready to buy NBA Finals and NBA Championship merchandise if that opportunity presents itself this year. Katie, thanks for bringing us up to date. Beautiful day outside of Ball Arena. Yeah, if the game was outside, Kathy, this would be a perfect day for basketball. Look at those blue skies above the Denver skyline.
Although it did rain on me coming to work.
Well,
it was raining. No,
just you?
No, not just me. But it was raining in big pockets, Kathy, on my drive in.
You were in that 20% group.
I was in that 20%.
You're special, Kim. Tom and I tell you every day how special you are.
Isolated showers.
Yeah.
Isolated.
Usually the dark cloud's kind of over Tom's head, but today it was following your car, Kim.
It was me. I'm just telling you, there was some showers out there, like those hit and miss showers.
Exactly. We're calling them isolated right now. It's just so beautiful with sunshine, close to 80 degrees in the city, so a little bit of a break this afternoon. And in the high country, it's so pretty, but the warm weather means rapid snow melt. The rivers, creeks, streams are rising, so be careful if you're having fun on the water, especially heading into the weekend. 76 in Denver so far, but 80s in southeastern Colorado. Comfortable temperatures in the mountains and warm through the western slope. Winds are pretty light and will start to shift out of the southwest, but that also means a little more moisture to work with tomorrow, so we'll have a few more hit and miss thunder showers along the front range, but temperatures will still continue above average. You can see how they're isolated in nature. There's a little cell out to the south of Sterling, a lot of thunder and lightning near Burlington, nothing severe, thank goodness. The storms are tracking from the northwest to the southeast. Denver is dry. There's a little shower moving through Fort Morgan, one up near Fort Collins. So just kind of these hit and miss showers, and we'll take every drop of rain. I know you're tired of it, but we need the water. We absolutely do. And with the sunshine today, it's actually turned out to be pretty nice. Storm Prediction Center has extreme northeastern Colorado, kind of in that marginal risk for some stronger thunderstorms. We're not really seeing that along the front range tonight, so it looks like it's going to be a beautiful evening tonight and a lot of sunshine in the forecast again tomorrow. So a stray shower certainly possible between now and 9 and coming up in Maine weather. We're tracking the evening showers. We've got a beautiful Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we've got some thunderstorms coming in and a better chance of rain as we move through Thursday into Friday, you guys.
Okay, stray shower. Thanks, Kathy. The Denver Police Department's newest academy class went on a field trip today to the city's Westwood neighborhood. It's part of a new program to educate recruits about the city's various neighborhoods and their residents. The program is called Before the Blue and Beyond the Badge. Chief Ron Thomas says it's based on a program developed by the Seattle Police Department. The goal is to expose recruits to the wide range of experiences, concerns, and expectations of the people they serve. Thomas says he believes this experience will make the recruits better cops once they hit the streets.
I think that they will have a greater level of understanding. They won't have to learn on the fly while they're out there trying to be police officers. They'll already have this level of understanding of cultures and communities before they ever start to police in the community.
Today, the recruits were in Southwest Denver, and later this week, they'll meet with residents and business owners in the downtown area and in Northeast Denver. There are 57 recruits in this year's class, the largest class since 1986.
Today, the third-place finisher in the open race for Denver mayor back in April endorsed Mike Johnston instead of Kelly Brough in the runoff. Lisa Calderon, a leading progressive voice, said that she made that decision reluctantly. Calderon narrowly missed the runoff by just over 3,000 votes. And 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry is with us now. Jaleesa, this was less than a ringing endorsement.
Tom, Calderon admitted a few days ago she wasn't even planning to endorse anyone, but after talking to members of the Latino United Neighborhoods Association, follow-up interviews with the candidates, she decided to take an analytical approach. Alongside the Latino United Neighborhoods Association, Calderon came up with a scorecard in which they ranked Brough and Johnston after the two candidates answered 79 questions ranging from economic justice, education equity to public safety. They say Johnston scored higher. Calderon admitted both Johnston and Brough agreed on a lot of things, including giving Calderon's team a say in the transition and appointee process. Still, Calderon knows this endorsement won't be easy for some progressives to understand. She described it as a harm reduction strategy, saying it's not about what they oppose, but about what is possible.
Either way, one of these two people will be elected. And so how can we work with the person who may be most open to change, who will be most open to hearing our voices and moving us forward into a new future and being collaborative.
In order to keep the candidates honest, Calderon actually had them initial next to what they agreed to do. Calderon stressed she will hold Johnson accountable if he wins.
And the question becomes, at this point, what does that endorsement mean? Do you think this has sway with those voters who maybe still haven't made up their mind?
Calderon had a very big and leading voice within the progressives, so that could actually mean something when it comes to backing. She had 18% of the votes in the mayoral race, so you never know.
We shall see. All right. Thank you, Jaleesa. I want to remind you that in about 3 hours, 9 News is hosting our final mayoral debate between Mike Johnston and Kelly Brough. It's going to be live here in studio at 7 p.m. with Kyle Clark, Marshall Zellinger, and Anisha Roy moderating. You can watch it commercial-free on Channel 20. It'll also be live streamed on 9 News Plus and the 9 News YouTube channel. A reminder, if you'd rather watch the Nugget game, don't worry, the whole thing will also be online. And coming up at 4:30, Kyle's going to drop by. He'll give us a preview of what to expect from the debate and the two candidates tonight.
Late this afternoon, Democratic Governor Gov Polis issued his first veto for the 2023 legislative session. He vetoed a bill that would delay the reintroduction of gray wolves in Colorado. 68 out of 100 legislators, predominantly Democrat, voted for the bill. He says wolves could not be reintroduced into the federal government, designated the wolves as experimental instead of an endangered species. If the wolves are experimental, the state has more flexibility in how and when a wolf can be killed. The governor indicated last week he would veto the bill. Ranchers call it an insurance policy. And one told us she feels disappointed with the governor's decision.
I think the governor is missing a very good opportunity to help bridge that rural and urban divide here.
The legal experts inform us would delay the very 10J that the proponents are seeking.
The governor directed the head of the Department of Natural Resources to continue working with the federal government on the wolf designation rule.